Hello, everybody. Welcome to our virtual town hall meeting. We are going to go ahead and get started. Parents, students, feel free to use the chat to say hello to us. We miss you all tremendously. And we are going to give people 1 or 2 minutes to log in. And after that, we are going to get started. To all of my young people, unless you are saying hello, I'm going to ask that you only use the chats just to say hello or to ask official questions. Other than that, if you're having like a sidebar conversation, just hold it in the chats, please, just in case families have real questions that they want to ask us. So good afternoon. I see Jelana logging on. I see Mr. Brown logging on. CJ. So I'll get an APs a minute to say hey to you all too.
Who wants to start? AP Jones, you want to go?
Hi, my little angels. I miss you guys so much. I hope you guys had a very restful and safe summer, but you know it's go time on Tuesday. We are so happy to have you back this school year.
Hey everyone, it's so great to see everyone logging in. We've missed you guys tremendously. We're excited for the school year and can't wait to see you virtually on Tuesday.
Hey everybody, super excited to see you all on Tuesday. Like Mrs. Poston just said, I hope everyone's had a good summer and we can't wait to get started. So thank you for joining us today. We got a lot of good information and we're excited for another great school year.
So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and kick off. So students, there will be a lot of information that we are going to give you all. It may be really, really good for you all to get something to take notes with. You will be able to go back to this YouTube presentation. So once you go back to the YouTube presentation, if there's anything that seemed unclear, you can go back and watch it later. And then we're also going to send a PowerPoint out to you all, so you will have that too. Make sure you're going to have some of your friends who are going to say that they don't have to do this. I'm not logging on. Some of them are still sleeping because they're being bums right until Tuesday morning at 7:35. So you all that are logged on, you are in charge of making sure that everybody has what they need to be successful for day one. So again, I'm Dr. Skanes, the very proud principal of Morgan Park High School. We also have with us Mr. Bies, who is the assistant principal over 11th and 12th grade. We have Ms. Jones, who is the assistant principal over 9th and 10th grade. My returning students, many of you all know Miss Jones as Miss Urquhart. She does have a new name. It's Miss Jones. Still the same fussing in the hallway, different name, same lady. And then you all have Mrs. Poston, who is our assistant principal in charge of our academic center, and she's also in charge of attendance. So she is typically the one stalking you if you get to school late, class late, or don't come to school at all. So we're going to go ahead and get kicked off. Parents, same thing. We're going to try to give you all a lot of information today. We're going to try to resolve as much anxiety and stress. We know that this is a different year, but I am 100% certain that we will all be successful heading into the new school year. Some things that we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about the remote learning expectations, making sure the students really understand the expectations around their CPS email. We need to talk a little bit about Google Classroom, about Google Hangout, about your counselors, any academic supports, and what you need to do to be prepared for Tuesday, September 8th. And so this is a real picture. No, it's not a real picture, but this is how we feel. So last year our faces were bright and shiny, and this year we're looking like the tiger, Mr. Obama. It has been a long summer for us getting you all up and ready to go, but just know that we have been working really, really hard to make sure that we have everything prepared. We do anticipate that there could be some glitches along the way. I'm just asking students and I'm asking parents to just extend to us just a little little bit of grace. We cannot answer every single question right now, but I promise you all, we hear you. When you send those questions to us, we're making sure that we get them answered. So if you send us an email, if you could just be so kind, give us 24, 48 hours to get it answered. And sometimes it could take us a day or two to even, once we answer the email, it still could take us another day or two, or sometimes even longer to get the issue resolved, just depending. So I think that in the age of COVID, where, we're all feeling a pinch of stress, it's going to be important for us to extend some grace to our families, knowing that this is a different, it's school in a different way for parents, but know that it's school in a different way for administration and for teachers too. So I'm just hoping that we can extend some grace both ways. So again, you got a chance to meet all of us, me, Ms. Poston, Ms. Jones, and Mr. Bies. So let's talk a little bit about the bell schedule. And so our remote learning bell schedule will look a little bit different. So students, the first thing that I want you all to make sure that you understand, we know what the times in Aspen say. We don't want you all to use the times in Aspen. We want you all to use this bell schedule that we sent the bell schedule out via email. And the bell schedule is also available on the website. The bell schedule looks slightly different for remote learning because we want to make sure it's different being on a computer to do class all day. And so we want to make sure that we give you all time to give your eyes a break, to stretch your bodies out, to grab a snack, to use the bathroom if you need to use the bathroom. If we were in school, we would only have a 4-minute passing period. But for remote learning, we're going to give you 10 minutes in between each class. So your classes will be 40 minutes. And then you'll have a 10-minute break in between each class. Students, the first thing that you all need to do, so write this down. You all should program your bell schedule into your phone so that you get alerts. So you should have an alert that's set for 7:35. You probably should set it for 7:30 to let you know, hey, in 5 minutes, we're getting ready to kick off. What you'll see is that there's a community time built in from 7:35 to 7:55. I will not always use the community time, but if there are messages that I need to give, if there are announcements that we need to give, if we need to have town hall meetings, those meetings will happen at 7:35. Now, some of you all are on Snapchat right now saying, I'm not going to class at 7:35. Stop talking crazy. You know that we will stalk you down. Listen, school starts technically at 7:35, okay? So we're extending you all some grace by not allowing you all to have to start your first period class until 8 o'clock. But know when COVID takes her little ugly self away and it's time for us to get back into the building, we will have to be in class at 7:35. So what we're trying to also make sure that we're doing is we're trying to instill good habits in you. 7:30, you should be ready to go. If we have community time, you'll know it because we're going to send you an email. If we're not having community time that day, you get a little bit of a break and your first class doesn't start till 8 o'clock. First thing that you all are doing, all of you all have phones. I need you all to program that your bell schedule times into your phone so that you get alerts. The reason that's important is because if you are in your first period class and your teacher let you all go a little bit early because maybe your teacher is having you to finish an assignment, you want your phone going off at 8:50 to tell you, hey, it's time for you to log into your second period class, okay? So make sure that you all program your bell schedule into your phones. Parents, the bell schedule is also available on the website. So we've sent it out via email. If you don't want to comb through your emails, then you're also you can find it on the website. AP Jones, you want to talk through this one?
So the bell schedule, you can also find the bell schedule by visiting tinyurl.com/mpschedule20-21. As Dr. Skanes stated, school starts every day at 7:35. Again, we are extending grace. Your first period class starts at 8. If we have a town hall meeting during that time, it will be from 7:35 until 8. All students will have 7 40-minute classes, not 5 40-minute classes, but 7 of them. You will also have a 10-minute break in between each class, and all students we'll have one 40-minute lunch, which counts as an eighth period. So again, you have 8 total periods. 7 of those are classes, and 1 period is lunch.
Okay, so again, go back 1 second, AP Jones. So lunch. Remember, our lunches are by grade level. So academic center, your lunch is 3rd period. Freshmen still have lunch 4th period. Sophomores have lunch 5th period. Juniors have lunch 6th period, and seniors have lunch 7th period. So you still will get a break. So you have 7 classes that you have to go to. It's an 8-period day with one of those periods being lunch. So now we're going to talk just a little bit about the remote learning expectations. And so I just posted a comment. I see some of the students are asking questions about how you get on Google and all of that. Give us just a few minutes. I promise we're going to get to all of that for you all. So students are expected to sign in to every single class, every single day. And students are going to get live direct instruction with a teacher every day. So that means that it is going to be important for students to get to class on time. Okay, we're giving you a 10-minute break, but really kind of consider it 9 minutes so that you have already clicked on the Google link and ready to go. Students, another little trick that you can do, if you are ready to take a break, you can actually log into your class 5 to 7 minutes early. Don't log in too early, but you can log in 5 to 7 minutes early. And then what you can do is, if you still need a little bit of break time, is to mute your mic and to mute your camera. But students, understand, we already know the trick that you think that you can log in and mute your camera and mute your mic and walk away and actually not be in class and trick the system. But understand that once class starts, teachers are going to ask you to cut that camera on. And number one, teachers will be required to ask you to cut the camera on to take attendance. We got to make sure that it's you that's actually logging on, okay? But you can log in a few minutes early to prevent yourself from being late. You are to remain in the class for the entire 40 minutes. Just like if we were in a building, you be in class for 50 minutes, we expect you to be there the entire time. Again, we're asking you to have your camera on. Families, we know that there could be a lot going on, and sometimes you may not want, the background of your house, picking up for class, and we're certainly sensitive to that. We understand that. What we ask is that you just find a little corner in your house with a little backdrop or wall that it is their little space. I've seen a whole lot of things on social media, and I've seen people setting up elaborate desk space and all of that. All of that stuff looks great, but it does not have to happen. Kids can learn sitting Indian style on the floor if they are comfortable and it's their space and they have everything to learn. But we are asking parents, well, we need your help with this. Do not allow them to lay in the bed to do class. I know it's home. I know it's like, hey, this is my house. We get it. But what happens is we don't want them to fall into lazy behavior. So we're asking that they still get up in the morning. They still get dressed as if they were going to school. They get out of the bed. And in fact, we're saying to teachers like, hey, if you notice some of these behaviors, let us know. Parents, we're going to reach out to you to say, we do have an expectation that students are exhibiting some more professional student behavior. So again, find a little corner in the house. Parents, if you have multiple kids, you may want to put them in different spaces or different rooms. Utilizing headphones is always great. So if you have multiple kids in your house that are in class at the same time, that they can tune each other out and that they're not picking up maybe another school or another class at the same time. When you are actually in your Google Meet, you can comment in the chat box. We're asking that you participate in activities and participate in a small group, just as if you were in the class. Students, it is going to be imperative that you check your email every single day, okay? And then check Google Classroom daily and complete any assignments by the due date. I'm going to pause right there to see if there's anything that any of the APs want to jump in with the remote learning expectations. Okay, we're good.
Yep.
So, AP Jones, I'll let you take this one for CPS email.
So it is imperative that you all are going into your CPS email every single day. So I'm just going to talk you through a few slides and give you some screenshots. Students, you can find your email by visiting google.cps.edu. Again, you have to go into your email every single day. Parents, you should have your student practice this at least 3 times before classes begin. Students, you should write down your email address and password in a secure location. Students, you can only use your CPS email to interact with Morgan Park school staff. You are not allowed to use your personal email. Some of you have tried to engage in conversation through your personal email, and I have sent you messages back telling you to sign into your CPS email account. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Students, check your CPS email daily, every single day. Something that you all may have noticed between Dr. Skanes and I, when you are sending us an email, please do not type the entire email in the subject line. The subject line should be a snapshot about what the email is about. So if you have a question about your grades, the subject line should say grades. When you are sending an email, it should be professional in nature. You should start off by saying, hello, AP Jones. Hello, Dr. Skanes. Hello, AP Poston. Hello, AP Buys. Please do not start your email off by just asking the question. And then lastly, make sure that you spell check your emails. If you begin to send us emails and they are not written as a professional student, we are not going to respond until you do so. This is a transferable skill that you need in the real world.
So go ahead, AP Jones.
No, you can go
back. Let me chime in just a little bit about the emails. I know it may seem like we're being tough, but the reason that is so important is because, again, when AP Jones says that this is a transferable skill, we want you all in the habit of knowing how to send good emails now, so that when you go off to college or when you go off into the workplace, that you'll be able to utilize the same type of skill. Okay, so again, do not use the subject line to ask us a question.
So students and parents, this is a screenshot. So I'm going to go back. When you go to google.cps.edu, it is going to take you to a screen here. This is where students, you need to know your username and your password. Here's a screenshot of that screen. Once inside of your email, if you look to the left of the screen, this particular person has 1,200 unread emails. Students, you have to get in the habit of getting those emails down to less than 10 on a daily basis. And later in our presentation, we're going to show you a trick of how to do that. But again, you are responsible for checking and reading every email that we send and not skimming the emails. So students, parents, you are having trouble. You don't have a CPS email account. You don't remember your username. You do not remember your password. Write this down. You can email Mr. Taylor at www.taylor3@cps.edu. Again, you don't remember your username or password. You're new to CPS. You've never had an email account. Please email Mr. Taylor at wtaylor3@cps.edu.
Okay, AP Jones, go back. I want to give them a second to write that down.
Got it.
If you need to reset, again, we said a little bit earlier, it's important for you all to try to log on at least 3 times before Tuesday.
You ready, Dr. Skanes?
I'm ready.
Okay.
So now what we want to do is we want to talk about the class schedule. This is the number one thing that we've been getting questions about. And so, yes, Jelana, you are off to a great start. You already set all 8 of your alarms, so you're off to a great start. Okay, so students, you all are wanting to know, how am I supposed to actually get in class on Tuesday? So the very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to aspen.cps.edu. Once you go in there, you should see your class schedule. For some of our new Mustangs, we know that you all are transferring in. We are still, some of you all may not be able to see your schedules yet, but our returning students, your schedule should already be in there and they're good to go. We haven't gotten to Google Classroom. Right now, we're just talking about your schedules that's in Aspen. All of your schedules should have 7 classes. They actually should have 8 classes plus your lunch. Okay, this says a 4th period lunch. That's just for freshmen. It just depends on your grade level. So 7 questions, and you should have 7 classes and then an 8th period lunch. Then some people are saying, how did I get into this or how did I get into that class? You all did course selection back in the fall. Back in the spring. So that is how your courses were decided. Every now and then, it could be an issue where, for whatever reason, we have to change you or that class wasn't available. And so, if that becomes the case, then what we have to do is then we have to change your class. Okay. So again, you go to aspen.cps.edu. This is the screen that you're going to see. For our students, their email username and password is the same for all of their Google systems. It's the same thing for Aspen. It's the same thing for all of those things, okay? For Google Classroom, for email, all of that. This is what your schedule will actually look like when you get into Aspen. Okay, this is just an example of one student schedule. Okay, so now let's talk through the difference with Google Classroom. So students, you are wanting to say, like, now, how do I actually get into class? We do not use Zoom and CPS. We use Google Meet and CPS, okay? So now, students, when you go and log into your CPS email, you can also access all of your Google Classroom, all of those features. But you can also go into classroom.google.com. Okay, so you can go into your email, or again, you can go into classroom.google.com. When you go into Google Classroom, at the top of the Google Classroom, you're going to see a Google Meet code. Ladies and gentlemen, you all are going to start emailing me, and you're going to start saying, like, but I don't see my Meet link yet. So some of the teachers are still activating the Google Meet links. You may see them by Monday. Worst case scenario, you'll be able to see them by Tuesday morning. Okay, so again, the Google Meet links are in the Google Classroom. So you got Aspen, where you see your schedule, and then you also have Google Classroom, where you enter your class. Any of the APs want to jump in?
I just want to stress the importance, like Google Classroom is now like the learning hub where you do everything. It's the place that you go and to click on the Meet link for your live instruction. It is the place where all of your assignments are located. It's also the place where you submit all of your work. So Google Classroom provides you information about everything. It's where your teachers will make announcements. It's where you turn in your work. All of your assignments will be there. So again, the same way we want you to check your CPS email every day, we also want you to check Google Classroom every single day.
Okay, go ahead, AP Jones. So this is a screenshot. All of the classes are not loaded quite yet. But we know, again, we're working on it behind the scenes. We know that all of them are not logged in, but what will happen is when you go into your Google Classroom, you will see one of these pictures for every one of your classrooms. So you actually will see 8 Google Classrooms because lunch is included as well. Okay. So AP Jones, you want to add anything else?
Yes. So, again, this is a screenshot of a student's Google Classroom. All of your classes will be loaded on here. So the next question is, well, how do I get into live instruction with the teacher? So once you're in the Google Classroom, on the screen, you see class code. It provides you the class code, and it also gives you the Meet link. In order to see your teacher and the rest of your classmates for that particular class, let's say, for instance, it's your 5th period class, you have to click on that Meet link. Again, the Meet links are in Google Classroom. That is why you have to be logged into Google Classroom every single day. So when it's time for your 2nd period class, you're going to come to this page right here. You're going to click on the name of the class. Once you get in, you're going to click on that Meet link, and it's going to take you directly into the learning space with your teacher and the rest of the students. And so Dr. Skanes told you earlier, there are 2 ways to get into Google Classroom. So one way you get into Google Classroom is by visiting classroom.google.com, but you can also find your Google Classroom by going into your CPS email. On the right of the screen, you're going to see a little waffle thing. It's like 9 little dots. Those are all of the Google apps. If you click on that Google Classroom, that's also going to take you to the Google Classroom as well. So 2 ways to get into Google Classroom. Dr.
Okay.
Still there?
Go ahead. Go ahead with the notifications.
Okay, so this is important. Let me go back a screen. You can see that this particular student has 1,200 emails. You all are missing important information, and you're missing important information because you have 7 teachers who constantly post in Google Classroom all the time, and you assume that a new email is a notification from Google Classroom. So I'm going to show you how to turn off the notifications. So how do you turn off your Google Classroom notifications? So all students must do this. We don't want you missing any more important information. You have to check your Google Classroom every day so that you can see what teachers are communicating to you in regards to assignments and announcements. So this is inside of a Google Classroom. If you go and click on this feature that says classes, it's going to give you some settings. You're going to click on that little pinwheel that says settings. Again, this student here has their classes, their calendar, their to-do list, all of their classes, their archived classes. You're going to click on that settings pinwheel. Again, I'm inside of a student's Google Classroom. I'm going to click on that settings pinwheel. Once I do that, it's going to take me to a screen that looks like this. I'm in the settings feature. Under notifications, it says email, receive email notifications. It is blue. We don't want it to be blue. That is why you have so many unanswered emails. You're going to turn that receive email notifications off. Once you turn it off, you know you have successfully done it because the screen will look like this. If your notifications are on, your screen looks like this. But once you turn them off, your screen will look like this.
Okay. So I know many students have already been reaching out to me, and you're asking, what if I don't have a Google Meet class? What am I supposed to do? Number one, we ask, I know it seems like school is on Tuesday, but we're asking you all, do not worry. We do know that there's an issue in the background that the district is working on. And so literally as we speak, they are working to get this issue corrected. And so some of you all actually may see some of your Google Classrooms continue to pop up between today and continue to pop up tomorrow. So just know that there's a bigger district-wide issue that's getting corrected right now. But if on Tuesday morning, you still do not have all of your classes loaded in Google Classroom, you are still going to check in to 7 classes. You don't need to check in for lunch. What we're going to do is on Tuesday morning, we're going to have a town hall meeting. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we'll pretty much give you a Google Classroom that you will go into. And I mean a Google Meet that you'll go into. So imagine if you were in school and something was wrong with your schedule. And so we said second period, go into room 100. It's going to be the same thing virtually. We're going to say, if you go into Google Classroom and you don't have a second period class listed, click this link and somebody's going to still meet you there. Somebody's still going to check in with you. Somebody is still going to say good morning or good afternoon to you. So if on Tuesday morning you don't have it, no worries. We still will have a place for you to go visit on Tuesday while that issue gets corrected. So to all of my wonderful Mustangs who are getting worried, again, I know I'm getting emails. I don't have my fifth period. I don't have my eighth period. We know, and it's getting corrected. AP Vaz, you want to jump in and talk about the counselors?
Sure. Yeah. This year we have 4 counselors. So each of our grade levels, along with the academic center students, will each be assigned a counselor. So starting with the academic center and 10th graders, your counselor is Mrs. Scaife. So I would go ahead and take a quick picture and or write down her email address. Any concerns you have, your assistant principal, AP Jones, or Mrs. Poston, along with Mrs. Scaife, is your go-to person. For 9th grade, your counselor is Mrs. Rice. So 9th grade, Miss Rice, and again, AP Jones over 9th grade. 11th grade, you can reach out to Miss Cole. She is your counselor, along with me, Mr. Buys. And 12th grade, Miss Sanders is a new counselor joining our team this year, all again with me, Mr. Buys. So your counselors are your first line of support. They can help you through a lot of things. And then your AP is your second line of support, depending on your grade level.
Go ahead. So we're going to talk a little bit about schedule changes. One of the things, if you have, well, let me tell you the reasons we'll change your schedule. We'll change your schedules if you have a duplicate class, if you're missing lunch, if you've already taken a class and received credit for the class, or if you didn't select the course, and that comes with some gray areas. Sometimes, like I said, you may have selected a course and for whatever reason, we're not offering it, then we may have put you in another class, okay? Not liking a particular teacher, that person, maybe somebody in the hall that you just don't necessarily care for, that's not going to be a legitimate reason to get a schedule change. And we'll find some other ways to work through some of those kinds of issues. Schedule changes will not start until the week of September 14th. So even if you're saying, I already took this class last year, just know that we will not actually start to adjust the schedules until Monday, September 14th. AP Jones, you want to talk about our academic support?
So you guys, my returning students, you know how I am. I believe in excellence every single day. And so we know that it's sometimes difficult to, navigate the remote setting, but don't worry. We still have very high expectations for all of our scholars. And we know there are going to be times where when you don't have answers, you need questions answered, you just need a little extra help. Students, you should attend academic support when. Again, parents, we're going to need your help with pushing our kids, going into your parent portal, checking on their grades, not just believing them when they say, oh, I'm passing that class. Digging deeper and actually going into your parent portal to assess what grade do they actually have. Students, you need academic support when you are taught something and you're just confused. If you have a question, you need extra practice. You took a quiz or a test and you didn't do well. And most importantly, we're in remote learning. If that grade drops below a B, you need to sign in to your teacher's office hours. All of the information regarding teacher's office hours will be announced by the teacher. Again, our teachers are here to support you from 7:35 until 2:30. When you are unclear, we do not want you falling behind. We want you to stay on track to graduate and you're anticipating your graduation.
So now I'm going to let AP Poston jump in and talk a little bit about our attendance expectations.
All right, so for attendance, Dr. Skanes mentioned this earlier in the presentation. Students are expected to attend every class. Again, you have 7 classes a day, the 8th class being your lunch, which there is no attendance for. Okay, in order for you to your attendance to count, you actually need to log into Google Classroom and Google Meet for every single period. Again, AP Jones mentioned that the Google Classroom is your primary hub for all of your learning this year. So you need to make sure that you're logging on to the Classroom and the Google Meet. The Google Meet is very important because that is where the teacher is going to be given the instruction, and that's where attendance will actually be taken. So make sure you are there. If students will not attend class, parents, not students, only the parent or the legal guardian has to call the school. When you call the school, they will forward you to the attendance office, and you must report your student absent. Okay, they will ask you a series of questions, just your student's first name, last name. They're going to want to know your first and last name and what relationship you are to the student. We will then pull up your Aspen emergency contact form to verify that that is you that we are speaking to. So students, again, you must log in to both, primarily Google Meet, to ensure that your attendance is taken for the day or in the period. Again, every period, 7 periods a day.
Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about something called Earn Honors. So we've had students asking questions about maybe why their schedule is not showing an honors class. And the reason being is because for some classes, we're moving into something called Earn Honors. And so this doesn't count for students who came in through the cohort or students in our DP program. But if you're not on one of those tracks, but you still want to have access to honors classes, we want to make honors classes more accessible for all of our families. So, and for all of our students. So what will happen is your schedule right now may say regular, but you're like, hey, I might want to earn an honors credit in English because I'm really good in English, or I really want to challenge myself in English. So at the 5th week, students are going to have a chance to apply for Earn Honors. This is only going to be for our core courses, which is math, science, English, and social studies. So students who are in, what will happen is the teacher will say like, hey, I'm getting ready to open up this opportunity for you to go on an honors track in this particular class. Students will have to submit an application. You're going to say, yes, I want to do the earned honors portion of it. The honors class portion of it is going to be a little bit more rigorous. So that means on your summative assessments, a summative assessment, or for some of our new students, a summative, that's pretty much the test that you take at the end of a unit. Your summative assessment is going to be a little bit more rigorous. Your summative assessment may give you a few additional essay questions. When during a week, the teacher may give you maybe one assignment that's a little bit more difficult, or maybe add an assignment that students in the regular section don't have to do. Remember, honors credit is about an academic challenge, so students will be asked to think a little deeper. They'll be asked to do a little bit more. Now, for students who want to go the Earn Honors track, don't worry about it being like too difficult to manage. It will still be at a rate that's manageable. But some of the benefits of getting the honors credit is it does give a boost to your GPA. When it's time to start applying for scholarships, a lot of times you can boost your GPA by having taken more honors classes. And some colleges even look at your GPA based on the type of classes that you've taken. So if you are looking to go, especially to some of our more selective universities, then it would make sense to say, hey, let me go ahead and select to challenge myself and to get this honors credit. So if some of you all are sitting in regular classes and you're worried about it, again, at about the 5th week, which is progress report time, you are going to have an opportunity to jump into honors. But know that we're going to have honors requirements, right? So honors requirements mean that you have to demonstrate that you're handling the regular level. You're going to have to demonstrate, even in remote learning, we're going to be expecting for you to log on. So if you're not coming to those Google Meet classes, but then at the 5th week, you say, hey, I want to do the honors portion, we're going to expect that you demonstrate success in the regular portion before we move you into the honors portion. So again, if you all have any questions, I know that this seems like a new way of doing things, but we know that this opens up access and opportunities for more of our students. Parents, something we bug you all about every year. A lot of times you all think of it as the lunch application. It's actually the federal income information form. We do need this information from parents every single year. Okay, so we need every single family to submit a form. We know that it was so much happening right now that we did not bug parents about doing it during back to school registration, but we are going to start, we're going to email the forms home to you on September 14th, okay? We're going to ask that you can do a couple of things. The forms have to have an original signature. You all can submit them to us via email, and we'll make sure we get all of that information in. You can drop them off to door one at the school. So there'll be a bunch of different kinds of ways, but families, we know that this is so important because schools could actually lose funding in the next school year when we don't have when our parents don't submit these forms. So again, just one thing to put on your radar, parents. The lunch application is actually the FIIF form. Now, is coming home on September 14th. You're going to get it via email, and make sure you please get that back to us. Okay, so now let's talk about the first day of school. So, AP Jones, you want to kick us off with that?
So, the first day of school officially is on Tuesday, September 8th. Again, we are so very excited to begin engaging our wonderful little scholars in learning. Though we are in a remote setting, our expectations around academic excellence would never change. They would never be lowered. We would never lower the bar of how we expect you all to show up to class every day. So a couple of things. Again, before bed, get your clothes ready. Yes, we are saying get your school clothes ready. Not to be laying around in your pajamas, but show up as if you would show up in the building. Make sure that your laptop, your cell phone, your Chromebook is charged the night before. Make sure you have a designated space to keep your laptop and your charger. Yes, we are asking you to lay out your school supplies. Though we are in a remote setting, you still need pens, pencils, papers, notebooks in order to be studious. Wake up early, get a snack. Some of you like snacks more than breakfast. Whatever it is to get you going, please make sure you do that before the start of class. And then you're going to log on to a YouTube link by 7:25 on Tuesday, because remember, we are having an opening town hall starting at 7:35 to 8 o'clock right before your first period. Dr. Skanes, are you going to email that link out?
So the link is going to go out on Tuesday morning so that they shall have it.
So again, we are still operating like this is still school. Though it's not in a traditional setting, again, we're never going to lower our expectations. Some of you have been with us now for this is your third year. You know how we are about academic excellence.
So we want to remind you all, you can do this. We know you all can do this, okay? So instead of thinking that this is too hard, I want you all to start thinking like, I can do hard things. Instead of saying I quit, I want you all to start saying I won't give up. Instead of saying mistakes are bad, I want you all to say mistakes help me learn. Instead of saying this is good enough, I want you all to start thinking I want to do my best work. Instead of saying this is taking too long, I want you all to think this may just take some time. If you say I can't make this any better, I want you to say I can always improve. Please don't say this one. I'm not good at this. I was guilty of this. I won't tell you what subject because I don't want to taint your thinking. But I used to say that all the time about a certain subject. I cannot do this. Instead of me saying I just need to use a different strategy, okay? And so I want you all to make sure that you are encouraging yourself. You all can do this. Maybe 10, let me see, you all are anywhere 15, 18, most of you all, 10 years ago, 14 years ago, you all started kindergarten, and that seemed like it was just overwhelming. Some of you all cried. You all remember those days you sat in that kindergarten room and you cried. You chased your mother, your father, your grandmother, your auntie. You chased them down. You swore that you were not going back to kindergarten. And look at you now. You are in high school and you're doing amazing things, okay? So the same way you got over that kindergarten hump, you met you some friends and somebody pushed you down, you got back up, you kept going. We're going to do the same thing in remote learning. You all can do this. We're doing it a little bit differently, but you still can do it, okay? So I want you all to make sure that you're showing up in school. I want you to make sure that you're showing up ready. I'm still laying out my first day of school clothes. I usually have on my nice green dress. So I will have my clothes laid out on Monday. So let's still make the first day of school fun. Now, after the first day, you may not be getting dressed up to just sit around your house in your fresh ones, putting a crease in them after the first day of school. However, still get up and change your clothes, okay? I'm a firm believer that you have to get out of the bed, you have to get ready for the day, because, and some of you all may say, why does it make a difference? The reason that it makes a difference is when you begin to change your clothes, you begin to change your mindset, okay? You will not come to school without brushing your teeth. You will not come to school with the same thing you slept in. So let's not do it in remote learning. You get out of the bed, you get your mind ready. We know that you absolutely can do this.
That's the last slide, Dr. Skanes.
And that is it. So, again, if you all have any questions, feel free. We will make sure that we're taking legitimate questions. They're always YouTube people. It's nothing but a click of a button. We can block them real quick. So if you all have legitimate questions that you all want to ask, we will stay on for a couple of more minutes. We will take your questions. Again, your schedule is in Aspen. The Bell schedule is on the website. Schedules aren't getting changed until the week of September 14th. Those are all of the big picture things. And then we're going to send this out to you all as well, so that you all will have all of the information so that we are set and ready for the first day of school. So if you all have any questions, make sure that you all are giving them to us in the chat. While we're waiting, AP Jones, any encouraging words you want to give?
I miss you guys so much. I know my little scholars can do this. I'm still going to be a bug. If you are a sophomore, you know I am a bug. If you are a junior or senior, even though you're Mr. By's babies now, you will always and forever be mine. I am a bug. We expect great things from you this year, and I miss you all the time.
AP Poston?
Yes, I'm so excited. I can't wait to pop into every classroom on Tuesday, just to see your faces, to see your smiles, hear your voices. I miss you guys tremendously, and I'm excited for this school year. Know that we can do anything virtually together. We will conquer this, and you guys will have a successful school year. As always, just like if you guys were in the hallways, I'm going to be bugging you through email, through Google Meet, Google Chat, to make sure that you guys are on track for success. So shoot me an email if you guys need anything. See you guys on Tuesday.
AP Bass?
Hey, they said it pretty well, but yeah, just to echo that, we can't wait, everybody. We miss you all a ton, and we wish we could see you in person come Tuesday, but the reality is we can't. We're going to make the best of this, and it's still going to be really good, and it's going to be all that much better once we do finally get to see you in person, all come back together at some point, hopefully later this year. So in the meantime, like everyone said, whatever you need, email us, let us know. We're here to help you, and you can definitely do this, and we're excited to start this process with you come Tuesday morning.
Okay. If there is nothing else, we are going to log off. So thank you all so much, parents. Thank you all for logging on. We know that if we all work together, we can make this. We can make it happen. And so again, somebody asked, how long is the lunch break? The lunch break is the same as a regular class period, Aisha. So it is, lunch breaks are 40 minutes. Okay. And students, I know sometimes you all are like, oh, I don't really need to take a lunch break. You all need to eat something. Let me be honest with you. As much as I'm saying that you all can do this, and I know that you all can do this, I also do want to remind you that it can be a little bit taxing at the end of the day. To be on a computer all day long. So make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you're using those 10-minute breaks to get up and stretch a little bit. We have another session at 3:30. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get some water. I'm going to stretch, probably go out on the porch. So use that time to like get the blood flowing in your body, and make sure that you all are eating lunch. To all of my Mustang Angels, anything that's red and leaves your fingers red when you get done eating it is not a sufficient lunch, okay? A lunch is a sandwich, soup, cereal, nothing that is going to be red on my Chromebooks. Y'all got it? No flaming hots or all that other stuff. Brandy, counselor information, it went out in an email last week, so go back, grab that email from me, and it is in there. And when we send this out, you'll have it then as well, okay? So again, I have one question about ID pictures. So no, we're not focusing on ID pictures right now, but we will get to them. Lauren, if you missed your yearbooks, yes, they will be available for pickup probably around the second or third week in September. Naomi, don't start bugging me about picture day, okay? I told you I can only do one thing at a time. We're going to take you all's little pictures at some point.
You better be.
No, seriously, Naomi, we are working on, I'm thinking about what we can do for a backup picture day, so that everybody is not having to come into the building, okay? Trying to keep you all safe. We could just hop on the Mustang bus and maybe just come around and just snap pictures. No, I don't know. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and log off. Thank you all so much, and we will see you all bright and early on Tuesday, September 8th. I will see you all in the town halls at 7:35.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.